Hi, welcome to Blazehat Technologies. My name is Tapvirsingh, and we'll be starting with a new lecture series on school and college CC++ projects. So let's begin with the first one. Write a program to calculate gross salary of an employee considering following conditions. 1. The salary is greater than 25,000 and the HRA must be 25% of the basic salary and DA must be 50% of the basic salary. Now I will explain what is HRA and DA. But before that, let's complete with this, understand this question. Else the HRA must be 15% of the basic salary and DA must be 30% of the basic salary. Calculate the gross salary, which is the sum of basic HRA and the DA. So what is HRA? HRA is nothing but house rent allowance and DA is Dearness Allowance. It is given to employees to protect them against the price hike in a financial year. So with that, let's begin with the coding. So first I am in my directories, in my directory where I wish to create the lecture series, where I wish to save my project. So I'm going to create folder here and I'm going to name it gross salary. So once I'm done with that, I'm going to open Visual Studio Code. I'm going to save this as gross.cpp. Okay, and so let's start with the code. I'm going to include the IO stream and then I'm going to include the console input output. I'm going to say using namespace standard, and I'm going to say int main void. Now then I'm going to return 0 here. Okay, let's write down the comments first. What exactly are we going to do? First thing is that we need to display the ask the user to input the basic salary. Okay, so for that we're going to say cout enter basic salary. We're going to declare variables to store basic HRA, DA and gross salary. For that we're going to create a float and we're going to say basic HRA, DA and gross. Now why am I using float here and not integer? The very basic reason is that HRA values will take a decimal value. For example, if I say 25% of something, we can write it like this: 0.25. 15% can be written as 0.15 and 30% can be written as 0.3. So the values may have a decimal value, and to store those decimal values we need floating float as a data type. And not just that, let's create a constant and constant float, and we're gonna say HRA maximum is going to be 0.25 and we're going to say HRA minimum, it's going to be 0.15, and then DA max, it's going to be 0.5, and DA min, it's going to be 0.3. Why am I doing this? I'm doing this just to it's a good practice to um, declare and define all your constants initially, because you don't need to make changes at later stage. you may just change the value here. For example, if the maximum DA is changed from 50% to 40%, you can just change the value here and it is good to go. Otherwise, you may need to figure out where you have written the values, and you need to find out, and it becomes very tedious, especially if it sometimes makes no sense. It's difficult to analyze what exactly that value means. It's a good practice to first just declare your constants initially and just use those constants in your program. So not just that, I'm going to declare one more variable here, and I'm going to say salary threshold. For that, I'm just going to say salary threshold. I don't know if the spelling is correct. 25,000. Okay, so salary threshold, I think there is just one edge here. Salary threshold, so it's going to be 25,000. You may change the salary slab also at the later stage. So once declared, we'll ask for the user input for basic, and it's going to be get the user basic salary. Once we have done that, we're going to compare it. We're going to check if the basic is greater than salary threshold. That is, if it is greater than 25,000, then we're going to do something else. If it's not, then we're going to do something else. So the first thing is we're going to say HR must be equal to HRA must be equal to basic multiplied by HRA max. We want this to be 25%. If the HR, if it is the basic salary is greater than 25,000, we must set it to if the HRA is greater than 25,000, then we must set it to set the HRA to 25% of the basic salary. That is what it means. And we're gonna say DA is equal to basic multiplied by DA max. It's similar to what we have done earlier. We're gonna say DA if DA is greater than 25. If basic is greater than 25,000, and similarly basic is greater than 25,000, then set DA to 50% of the basic salary. That is what we are doing here. And HRA in else, if it is equal to 25,000 or less than 25,000, then what we are going to do is we're going to say basic set the HRA to 15% of the basic salary. So we're going to say HRA minimum. So we're going to use this value here. The compiler is going to just place this value in here. Okay, and DA to basic multiplied by DA minimum. This is what we need to do. Okay, it's all same. If it is, then you just set this to 30% of the salary, and we're gonna set the HRA to HRA to 15% of the basic salary. Okay, so once we have the HRA and DA, what we need to do is we need to add the basic plus HRA plus DA. Okay, and then we need to display the HRA. What exactly is the calculated HRA, and then we're gonna say um, we'll mention the DA, and then we're gonna talk about the gross. Okay, and then we're gonna say press any key to exit. Say get ch and return 0. Okay, so this is the program, and this program will be available on GitHub. The link will be in my description box, so you can always make changes. You can try with different HRA maximum and minimum values, DA and maximum and minimum values, change the threshold, salary threshold, do something different, try to make some changes in this and see what is the result. So let's compile this. I'm gonna press Control since I'm on Windows machine, so I'm gonna press Control and F5, and then I'm gonna click here and I'm gonna use g++.exe. That is the compiler I'm using. I'm gonna click on Terminal, and it's asking for the basic salary. So let's give in 30,000 and check with the HRA is 7,500, DA is 15,000, gross is 52,500. I think it's the same that we calculated in the Excel sheet. 30,500, 25%, 50% DA, it's gonna be 27,500, 15,000 and 52,500. It's working. So we may try one more. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna click here. I'm gonna say 25,000. Okay, HRA is 3,750, DA is 7,500, gross is 36,250. 3,750, 7,500, 3,000, 36,250. It's working. So, uh, do let me know if you have any query regarding this. And as I've already mentioned, the code will be available on GitHub. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. I'll be coming up with more projects.